Hello everyone, I'm Linlin. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to cook salted duck. I could not find a proper word to translate the name of this dish. It is among the top 10 dishes in Jiangsu province in China. It originated from Nanjing, which is the capital city of Jiangsu province. There are also other ways to cook duck in Nanjing. Somewhere I saw on the internet said that people from Nanjing consume over 100 million ducks in total each year. That is lots of ducks. I'm going to make the dish using a popular method which is easier to achieve at home. Even it is not the same way cooked in the restaurants, the flavor and the texture come pretty close. I like this way to cook duck since it does not involve deep frying or pan frying. At the end, I just need to boil the duck, which will bring out the fat. So it is a relatively healthy dish. In Nanjing, people use ducks which are leaner to make this dish, as compared to the Peking duck, which is a dish that ducks with more fat are being used. Okay, let's make it now. First, I wash the duck under running water and get rid of the parts that I will not eat. Then I soak it in water in a big container. I added some cooking wine so it will help to get rid of the gamey taste of the duck meat. I also cut off the excessive parts of fat. Now, let us make the rub, which will be used to marinate the duck. For each pound of duck, I will use 25 grams to 30 grams of salt. Since the duck I have weighs around 5 pounds, and I would rather have more rub left than not having enough, so I am measuring 200 grams of salt. I also measure 15 grams of these red Sichuan pepper and 15 grams of the green Sichuan pepper. In Chinese cuisine, we use Sichuan pepper a lot. If you go to an authentic Sichuan restaurant, if you're eating dishes which make your tongue numb, that is the work of the Sichuan pepper. Next, I will heat the salt and Sichuan pepper mixture in a pan to bring out the flavor of Sichuan pepper. It does not take long. Once the color of salt turns a little bit yellow, it should be enough. If you plan ahead of time, it is nicer to soak the duck in the water for about 2 hours. Once the rub is not too hot, I will apply it on the duck. I started with the store-bought spice powder. It contains 13 different spices according to the name of the package. I will rub the spice inside the duck and outside thoroughly. If you do not have this spice powder, you can skip it. Once this is done, I will do the same thing with the salt and Sichuan pepper rubs. Here's how I know if I added enough salt or not. After a few rounds of rubbing, if there is quite some salt left in the container, it indicates that it is good enough. I will cover the container and store the duck in the refrigerator for about 24 hours. After a day of marination, I will take the duck out and then prepare the water to boil the duck. I will add a little bit of salt and some anise to the water. It is nice to add more spices. The reason I did not do so is that I want to keep the soup after boiling the duck. Adding too much spice will give the duck more flavor, but I might not be able to use the soup. After the water is boiled for at least 5 minutes, I will put the duck in. I am not adding much salt to the pot at the beginning. I will add more salt if needed after I start cooking the duck. When putting the duck in, make sure that water gets into the duck belly. If not, try to gently lift it and drop it a few times. This will make sure the duck gets cooked more evenly inside out. After water boils, turn off the heat and keep the lid closed for about 25 to 30 minutes, depending on your pot. If your pot preserves heat better, 30 minutes will work. After 25 to 30 minutes, turn on the heat and bring the pot to boil again and turn it off. Keep the lid closed for 25 to 30 minutes. During the boiling process, I tried the soup and realized that it does not have enough salt, so I added more. If you have a duck less than 3.5 pounds, it should be fully cooked after 2 cooking cycles. My duck weighs 5 pounds, so I repeat this cycle for a 3rd time. If you're not sure, use a chopstick or a longer toothpick to poke deep into the duck. If red color of juice comes out, it means it needs more cooking time. This way the duck gets cooked at a lower temperature so that the duck meat is tender. After the last 30 minutes ends, take out the duck. Let it cool down. I skimmed the oil from the stocking and filtered the spice out. So at the end, I got this duck, this much soup, and some duck fat. I have a vegetable garden, so I will dump the duck fat in the garden as fertilizer. Like I mentioned earlier, this is such a healthy way to cook duck, if you see how much fat I got at the end. Cover it and put it in the refrigerator for at least an hour so that the meat will turn tighter. Before dinner starts, I take the duck out of the refrigerator and cut it into smaller pieces. Okay, this is not the most pleasant part of cooking this dish. I was never great at cutting and presenting food. I'll do my best. The rule of thumb of cutting and arranging the pieces is to cut the duck legs and duck breasts as well as you can. Put the irregular pieces in the lower and inside layer. Put the nicer looking pieces on the outer layer. Here's what I have at the end. The duck turns out to be very delicious. If you like heavier flavor or cooking for adults only, you can definitely use more Sichuan pepper when making the salt and Sichuan pepper mix. I added sliced Napa cabbage and clear noodles to the soup. It makes a great soup dish. Normal cabbage will work great too. If you have handmade noodles ready or instant noodles with some fresh vegetables, it makes a great quick meal. If you like chicken, you can cook chicken similar way by adjusting the cooking time. I hope you enjoy watching this video. For my American friends, if you travel to China in the future, and if you visit Jiangsu province, make sure you try this dish. If you like this video, please press the like icon. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe. Happy living, happy cooking. See you next time.